Do you need to update your published data packages in EDI? This video will demonstrate how to make some common edits and updates to data packages using ezEML. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to make metadata only updates. I'll demonstrate how to update data tables, and I'll also demonstrate how to update data tables in data packages containing large data objects. First, let's check out the data that we'll work with today. This package from the NESLTER contains a zip file that's 35 gigabytes. So this size file is fairly prohibitive when it comes to uploading to EDI, but we can import this package into ezEML without importing this large data file. We can then edit the metadata, such as the title, creators, or abstract, without ever needing to access this large file. So this will save us a lot of time and network bandwidth. So let's go to ezEML. We'll log into our account. As always, you can log in with Google, GitHub, or ORCID credentials. First thing we need to do is import our data package from EDI. So for any package that's published in EDI, we can go to import, export, fetch a package from EDI. We select the scope. So ours is from the NESLTER. And then select the package number. We get a message that it was imported without errors. And now it asks us, do we want to get the associated data files or continue without getting data files? So this package has 35,000 megabytes of associated data, mostly because of that large zip file. Since we're only editing the metadata, we can continue without getting data files. Great. Now our entire package is back in ezEML. We'll see that the data package ID is right here. One thing that we're going to want to do is update this. And now we can make any edits to the metadata. As long as we're not editing the data tables, we should be all good. So let's just add to our abstract. We could add some new keywords if we wanted to. Anything besides editing the other entities or data tables should go off without a hitch. After making these edits, we won't be able to send to EDI as we would with a normal package. This will not work simply because we didn't import our data objects. This is because we continued without getting associated data. So instead of sending the data package to EDI, here's a workaround. Instead, we'll download the EML file. And now with the EML file, we can create an email to info@edirepository.org and attach this and send it to them, saying it's an update to this package. EDI data curators can then help you complete your update by uploading to the data portal on your behalf. For the next part of this demonstration, we're going to be updating a data package with much smaller objects. So we'll be able to import the data objects directly into ezEML and update them. So for this data package, we've got a few data objects, but the largest one is only a megabyte. So this is going to be no problem to import into ezEML. This is package number 6 in the NIWAT-LTER scope. Just as before, we'll log in. We go to fetch a package from EDI, find the NIWAT scope, and select package 6. was imported without errors. And this time, since we want to actually edit the tables in this data package, we are going to get associated data files. Great. Now that we're here, we go to our data package ID, increment the revision number. Now we can start editing our tables directly. So for the ANPP table, I have added rows to the bottom of the table, but I haven't changed the schema or the order of the columns in any other way. So to update this table, I simply click re-upload, locate the file, and again click re-upload. The number of records has now changed to reflect the new file, as has the size, MD checksum, and online distribution URL. For ion exchange resin data, I actually haven't added any data, but I've changed the order of columns. So this will be a little different. For this, I'll load data table from CSV file as if I'm starting from scratch. As you can see, there's a lot of user specified information that hasn't been filled out. So we don't need to do that all by hand again. Since we already have all that information here, all we need to do is edit this table and use clone column properties. So we want to select the package that we are in. We want to select the table we want to clone the column properties from. Select all. And they should all automatically match up since all of the column names are still the same. Great. Now we can see definitions of columns have been filled in. All that we still need to do is update the table name and update the description. Now we can delete our old table. And if we want to, we can move this one back. Once we've finished updating our data tables, we can simply send to EDI as we would with a new package. It's good to leave a note that lets the EDI data curators know that this is an update to an existing package. Looks like it was successfully sent to EDI, so we should expect to hear back from them letting us know that the package has been updated or with a proof to review the update. For the final part of this demonstration, let's look at how we could actually edit some of the tables that are in that data package that contained the big data. So we're not going to actually change that zip file, that 35 gigabyte zip file, but what we are going to do is edit another data table that was there. And we're also going to add a new data table to that package. So we'll still be not importing those data objects, but we'll have some workarounds and things we have to take care of so that we can edit data tables in general. So if you recall, we have this 35 gigabyte zip file that prevents us from importing our data objects into ezEML. But we also have our table here that's only 6 kilobytes, and that's the table that we actually want to edit right now. So how are we going to handle this? We'll log into ezEML. As always, fetch a data package, find the scope, and select the package. Again, we're going to continue without getting data files. This package has 35,000 megabytes of associated data, which is far too big for ezEML to handle. So we continue without getting these data files. So even though we didn't import them, we can still view the metadata for them. And if we want to actually download this one, it still has the URL associated with it. So you could simply enter that in your web browser to trigger the download. Cool. So as you see, we don't have the re-upload button here though. So how are we going to handle that? Well, here's a quick workaround for this. We could load the table as if we're going to do this operation from scratch. Now, as you're about to see, it didn't enter any of the metadata, but by loading a table with the same file name as the existing one, it actually tricks the system into adding that re-upload button back. So it's a bit of a hack, but it works for our case. Since all we're doing is going to be adding some rows at the bottom of the column, we really do want to re-upload the table. So now we click the re-upload button and we find the version that we want, version 2. We can click re-upload. Everything remains in place. All the column metadata will still be filled out. All that's different is the number of records have changed. So just remember, if you want to trick the computer into giving you that re-upload button, you have to load data table from CSV file and make sure it has the same file name. And also remember to make sure that dummy file gets erased afterwards. So now we've updated that data table. Now that we've updated our existing data table, all we have left to do is increment our data package ID. And now, as before, when we try to send to EDI, we're going to be met with this message that we have an error, missing file. That's again because we didn't import our data objects to prevent the overload of importing an enormous data object of 35 gigabytes into ezEML. So the workaround for this, as mentioned before, import, export, download EML file. And as you see, that's going to download this EML file to your computer. And now to finish your update, simply attach that EML file to an email sent to info@edirepository.org. Leave a message that says this is an update to package KNB-LTER-NES19, and the EDI data curators will help you through the rest of the upload process. So to recap what we went over in this video, we demonstrated how to edit metadata only in a data package. We covered how to update data tables in an existing data package. And we finally covered how to work with data packages with large data objects, how to update data tables within them, and how to update the metadata. A key takeaway from this is that if you're importing into ezEML and you're not uploading the associated data files, that you have a workaround where you can download the EML and then attach the EML to an email to info@edirepository.org. So that's a good workaround when the send to EDI button won't work because you didn't import data objects.